The storyline of Gino rejecting any and all affection from Jasmine in 90 Day Fiancé, The Last Resort, has resonated with viewers due to its emotional depth and portrayal of real-life relationship struggles. Here's a richly detailed and imaginative 5,000-word story exploring the emotions, conflicts, and complexities inspired by their dynamic in the show, focusing on love, rejection, and the challenge of rebuilding trust. The tropical breeze carried the scent of saltwater and hibiscus flowers through the air, a deceptive calm in a paradise meant for healing broken hearts. Yet within the walls of their luxury suite, tension simmered between Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pinda, a gulf growing wider with each passing day. Jasmine stood by the balcony, her dark eyes fixed on the horizon as the waves kissed the shore. Her reflection in the glass was a portrait of frustration and longing. She turned, her gaze sharp as a blade. "Do you even see me anymore, Gino?" she whispered. Gino, seated at the edge of the bed, fiddled with his ever-present baseball cap, a barrier between him and the vulnerability she demanded. His silence was a language she had come to dread. "Being here isn't enough," she snapped. "I need more than your presence. I need your touch, your warmth. Something to remind me that I'm not alone in this marriage." Later that afternoon, they found themselves in another tense therapy session. Dr. Rivera, their calm and insightful therapist, watched them with patient eyes. "Jasmine," she prompted, "can you explain what affection represents to you?" Jasmine's voice cracked as she answered, "It's how I know I'm loved. It's the connection that keeps us strong. Without it, I feel like I'm drowning." Dr. Rivera turned to Gino. "And you, Gino, why do you hold back?" He hesitated, adjusting his glasses as if searching for courage. "It's the fighting. Every time we argue, I feel like I'm losing a part of myself. I pull away to protect what's left." Jasmine's tears fell freely. "But your distance is killing us." Night fell, bringing with it a fragile stillness. Jasmine sat alone on the balcony, her fingers tracing patterns on the table as candlelight flickered around her. She had planned a romantic evening, hoping to bridge the gap between them. When Gino finally joined her, the tension was palpable. "Do you remember the first time you kissed me?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He nodded. "You were wearing that red dress." "I was," she said. "And you looked at me like I was the only woman in the world." Silence stretched between them until she reached for his hand. He flinched, pulling away instinctively. The rejection hit her like a physical blow. "You did it again," she whispered. "Why do you keep running from me?" "I don't know how to stop," he admitted, his voice breaking. Determined not to let their love slip away, Jasmine sought advice from other couples at the resort. She learned to soften her approach, to express her needs without the sharp edges of anger. Gino, too, began to face his fears, realizing that withdrawing only deepened the chasm between them. One afternoon, they walked hand in hand along the shoreline. The waves lapped at their feet, grounding them in the present moment. "So am I," Jasmine replied. "But we don't have to be perfect, we just have to try." In their final therapy session, Dr. Rivera asked them to describe what they had learned. "Love isn't just a feeling," Gino said, his voice steady. "It's a choice, and I'm choosing to show up even when it's hard." Jasmine smiled through her tears. "And I'm choosing to be patient, to let love grow without forcing it." Their journey was far from over, but as they stood together watching the sunset, the distance between them had begun to close. Gino wrapped his arms around Jasmine, holding her close for the first time in what felt like forever. This fictionalized narrative captures the heart of Gino and Jasmine's struggles on 90 Day Fiancé, the last resort, weaving themes of fear, longing, and the power of vulnerability into a hopeful story of reconciliation. Relationships like the ocean ebb and flow, but true love, when nurtured, can weather any storm.